gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Of course, your host Superman in the house, and what awesome news we had, of course, with Powell. They're signaling some rate cuts coming up, so game on for crypto and stock markets, and of course their markets are up, are pretty awesome. We also got record results, over $800 million for the PulseChain SAC. 800 million, guys, just think about that. That is amazing, and of course we're going to get into all of it on the channel. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to cover PulseChain, going to cover crypto, going to cover stock market, going to cover Unity and Taurus, which we're tracking pretty closely from crypto graphics, and it's going to be a lot of fun in the show, I'm sure. So look forward to that. It's going to be pretty epic, and yeah, good times, as they say, good times ahead. Now, don't forget, if you are watching, don't forget to take a moment to reshare the show on X. Just takes 1 second of your time to hit the repost button, and it'll be really helpful. So get out there, folks, and share the channel around. Sean O'Malley in the house. Hey, Sean O'Malley, good morning all. And Sean says, sure feels better in the green. It does indeed. And of course, Powell to crumble. Chin, everybody, chin. Absolutely. We got Brian in the house there. Sup, Brian? Good to see you, Brian. And of course, sup folks there from Brian. Pretty cool. I'm just getting my pronunciation correct there, Brian, just to make sure. It's not, we got Brendan in the house as well. Yeah, boy. Nice recovery in ETH. Absolutely fantastic. And we got Matt in the house as well. Howdy, Superman. Good to see you, Matt. Big shout out. Toxic Hedgehog in the house. Always, hey, we got the OGs in the chat today. Fantastic. And Brendan there. Big shout out to Brian. Oh, what's up, B? So good to see Brian in the house as always. And let's get onto it. So let's have a bit of fun here. We're going to get into the markets. Let's jump around and go to the stock market where we are and bring it up. Bam, there we go. So stock market Dow and fresh record close as Powell signals the rate cut is incoming. So that's really cool. We got the Dow Jones at the moment up 1.9%, 846 points to 45,631. We got the S&P 500 up 1.5% to 96 points, the 6,466. And then we got the NASDAQ with all the tech companies up 1.88%, almost 1.9% there, 396 points to 21,496. So all those sell-offs early in the week, and we've had a big bounce back. So isn't that awesome? Let's have a look at the weekly chart for the NASDAQ. And yeah, we're almost back to the beginning. Not quite as back high as we were, but we're back to almost there. We almost recovered the whole week with the S&P 500. Let's have a look at that. We are above. So the S&P 500 is actually higher than the beginning of the week. So awesome. And the Dow Jones, so look at that, is way higher. So Dow Jones is way higher there from the looks of it over the last week. So pretty cool. US dollar 97.6, so depreciated about 1%. Let's have a look at the commodities. West Texas sitting at about $63.60. Brent oil at $67.70, and they're both up slightly. We've got gold at the moment, $3,418, up 1%, $37 for gold. Silver at $39, up 2.5%. Almost up almost $1? My goodness, yeah, almost $1 on silver. So if you're holding a bag of silver, congratulations. What else? Matt says, hey, Brennan, oh man, what a thriller. It was unlucky for clearly. You guys talking about league? Talking about league? I'm not sure. We got green charts, green candles, and green machines. Absolutely. All right. So that's kind of where we are with the markets. And Jerome Powell there, pretty exciting. So he said the downside risks to employment are rising. That says Powell. So the downside risks to employment are rising with the policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook, and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance, said Powell. This is about an explicit, well, we'll probably cut in September type of statement. That's what we're expecting there. However, while Powell was more dovish than when he last spoke in July, this is hardly an extremely dovish speech on an absolute basis. He is still nervous about inflation and warns that tariffs could generate more persistent rise in prices. Of course, we haven't seen that in a lot of categories. In addition, while job creation is cooling, a job market slack is not due to a drop in labor supply, and that's the overall there. So kind of cool. In terms of the US trade as well, Canada said Friday it would drop most of its retaliatory tariffs of 25% on US goods, just ahead of the US-Mexico-Canada agreement review in a few months' time. Canada had imposed the tariffs in retaliation to Trump's move to hit the country with 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium. Canada said, however, that tariffs on autos, US auto steels and aluminium would remain in place. So that's kind of where we are right now. So that is kind of the play in the stock market. Let's quickly go to the interest rate monitor, see what that's looking like now. So we were down to about 70% yesterday, weren't we? Well, it looks like we're back up at 83% of the market, expecting a 25 basis point rate cut for the 17th of September, which is only 3 weeks, 4 days, and 17 hours to go. So keep that in your calendar. We got October looking, another 25 basis points potentially. Although, that's not the majority of the market yet, but another 25 basis points. Actually, just looking at that, actually, that's not correct. Let me reflip that. The whole market's moved here. So we got, 25 basis, no, that's correct. 25 basis point cut for September. And then maybe, what do we got there? Another 4 to 25, maybe another 25 basis points in October. And then December there, we've got another potentially, what do we got there? Another 25, so potentially 75 basis point cut. So that's 0.75% by the end of the year. So if we're currently 4.5, that would get us down to 3.75 by the end of the year. But just the direction, so the signals maybe beginning of the rate cut cycle, right? That's really what we're talking about there. That's potentially bullish. And of course, lower rates mean risk on. People have to go seek out higher yields, and that's good for the stock market and crypto. And of course, we've got lots of fundamentals on the stock market around AI playing out, and we've got a lot of fundamentals around crypto. With the institutional investment and the Genius Act and all that playing into the theme there, tokenization and payments. So we've got all these themes playing in well for the stock market and crypto, which is going to lead us into crypto, I guess. I guess that's where we go next. So let's jump around, see if we've got any more comments in the house here. Let's see what else we got. What happened to the rates? Nothing yet, but just expectations we're going dovish on the rates, which means rates cut cycle begins. And that will probably have a lot more money printing as well, help boom the markets also. So kind of cool. Brennan says that 99 Capital had some interesting recent tweets around the PEG prophecy for PDI. You're talking about PDI. Now, look, we've got some interesting stuff coming out from them. Actually, I want to bring the post up. I'm not sure whether I can bring it up. But we had Liberty Swap dropping some more inside alpha. So there's definitely I don't know, it's a secret agency going on. I feel like we're in the MCU universe or something like that. We got this carry on going on with some of these teams. So let me just pull it up. Don't forget to repost the show on X, of course. Let's get the people coming in. And let me see here. I just had a little post here. I'm just trying to find it. It's always tricky when I didn't preset it up, right? I'm trying to find something. Live. Do it live. It's always difficult doing it live. But we did have some interesting comments here from Liberty Swap. I may as well just say them verbatim, or I'll just try and paraphrase it. Let's see here. Yeah, trying to find it. It's always hard when they post so much now. That's always a bit troublesome. Let's see here. Let's see. Can't see them, but basically, where is it? How far back? Man, oh my gosh, so many posts on here. I might leave it there. I'm just going to have to paraphrase it. There we go. So, we're going to talk about that when we get to PulseChain, but Liberty Swap, they're teasing about another balancer fork hitting the PulseChain. Obviously, we've got the PH Universe one, PHUX, I think it is, and then we're going to have another balancer fork apparently coming. And then we're going to have apparently a whole another round of liquidity forks. So we've got 4 liquidity forks. And so I guess they're going to use different tokens, supply syncing other tokens. Does that mean wrap Bitcoin and stuff like that? So apparently we've got a whole more batch of those after Betterbank came with the modified fork of Aave. So that's all coming ahead of us. So we've got quite a few things on the move on the old PulseChain. Tintop's in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tintop. We can wait, super. 1 moment caller, says Brennan. Yeah, Brennan always tries to. He's the new Wookiee. I call him Wookiee 2.0. He's always trying to de-register the show there, get us offline. What else? Matt Barley says PDI to $1. will be incredible for all, and the chain will explode, and mass coverage will be awesome to see, says Matt. Brennan says, Tim Top is in the house. Is was it it says Brian? You got Cryptographics in the house. Big shout out, of course, the founder of Unity and Taurus, and of course Unity. They're firing up in the old price charts today. We're going to talk about that when we get to it, and we're following that journey. Right, we're going to be following the journey of Unity and Taurus. Pretty cool. I appreciate the repost there, Cryptographics. Matt and Bali, are you loaded on a P-Wrap Bitcoin, Brennan? We've got lots of crypto strategies in the chat there. All right, so let's get into the crypto lines and talk about that, and go for gold. All right, so crypto right now, we're sitting at 4.11 trillion, and that is up 5.8%. A really big move. That's a big move from what we've seen recently, so that's fantastic. We got the total number of coins at 18,270 on CoinGecko. Now, we know Racker Michelle looks like he's going to be having a coin ranking site coming up, take on these juggernauts of CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, no doubt. So that'd be exciting. I'm all for that. We've got Bitcoin right now at $116,767, up a 3.78%. And we've got Ethereum there, the big mover, and that's the talk of the town, up 13.2% at 4,811. Which is pretty amazing. So looking good there. We might actually bring up the chart here too on Ethereum afterwards. XRP is up 6.5% at $3.06. Number 5 is BNB, up 6%, $896. Wow, heading towards that $1,000 mark for BNB, be great. Solana there up 9.9% at almost $200. We got the number 9 there, Dogecoin, up 10.4% at 24 cents almost. And then Tron there is up 3.1% at 36.6 cents. So those are our top 10 right now. And looking at the top performer over the last 24 hours, of course, is Ethereum, up 13.3%. Best performer over the last week is still BNB, up 8.4%. But that might get flipped by Ethereum there in another daytime. We'll see. Top performer in the last week, OKB, up 117%. So that would be the real winner there, number 44. Chainlink at number 13, up 21%. Arbitrum at number 50 is up 19%. There, Monero at number 39, up 15%. And finally, our top 5 over the last week is Aave at number 37 there, and that's up 14%. And of course, we got Betterbank now live, right? That is doing amazing on PulseChain, $21 million inside like 12 days. So pretty exciting there. Looking at the top 1,000 gainers, we've got Memecoin, Ray, and Illusion of Life. They're on the move right now. I'm not going to go through those like I normally do today because I just want to get into the nitty-gritty about PulseChain a little bit more today. But top trending now, we've got Ethereum, Bio Protocol, and Aave trending here at the moment. And yeah, that's where we are. So 4.11 trillion on the market. Let's bring in the charts though, because I should have had them ready already. But let's bring in the charts on the old Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we can see that we were riding up the 50 moving average on Bitcoin. We pierced through it a little bit there. Now we're back over it. The 50 is now at 115,000. We're at 116,800. And of course, the 200 at 103,500. So we're looking very, very good in our rally here so far. Interest rate cuts now looking more dovish. So that means rate cuts are more likely. And we're back over 80% for that. So that's kind of cool. And that's only 24 days away or so. So we're really excited about that. And as you guys know, we've got a lot more crypto stuff coming for the crypto regulations. So we'll be looking forward to that moving into September, October, and potentially more ways of buying altcoins and Bitcoin, things like that, from the sovereign state of the United States of America. So that's kind of cool. I think Trump also announced today, was it something around the World Soccer Cup being held? So it was pretty exciting in the White House there for those that are into soccer or football, American football, they call it, don't they? American football. Is that right? No, American football is the running game. My bad. Soccer or football. Football is what they call it in the UK, I think. In the UK, yeah. So that is kind of the play right now. We also saw, obviously, good news around that Canada there dropping the tariffs, at least on some of the items there. So kind of cool. Let's go look at Ethereum, though. That's the talk of the town today. And Coinbase. Let's have a look at that. Look at that. Woohoo! Beautiful, man. Beautiful. We had a golden cross here, back here on around about the 10th of July. and we had that's just worked out really perfect, doesn't it? That green line, of course, is the PulseChain sacrifice reserve break-even price. So now we're well above that, and we're on a nice little breakout move here, and we're up at 4,000. What are we up there percentage-wise? Up 26.7% above the PulseChain sack, and that's just the beginning, guys. It's just the beginning. Let's face it. We're going to the moon, and it's going to be looking good. Now, obviously, the price today, we've actually reached a high of 4,886. So we technically have a new all-time high on Ethereum. Isn't that fantastic? So, congratulations, everybody. A new all-time high. Yeah, pretty awesome. Let's see what else is there. Sean says the train is leaving the station on Sparta. Hey, look, great call yesterday, Sean. So well done to you, mate. And Sparta was one of the top performers, still is from my memory. So we're gonna have a look at that in the rankings. Let's jump down a bit further here. We've got Clintrons in the house there. G'day, Mr. Superman and crew. Always good to see Clintrons in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brian says this fall is going to be great. This fall. The American uses of fall always a bit odd, bit of counterintuitive there, Brian. But I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, it's going to be pretty amazing. We don't use that down under. Yeah, we just use like summer, I think, winter. Obviously, we do read the books. We do read the American books. Dovish signals from Powell to reduce interest rates in September on our way to Pluto. Woohoo, says Eddie. Actually, well said there, Eddie. Looking very good. So, yeah, looking pretty awesome, and we're witnessing history. Let's go to the monthly chart here on the old. Actually, before we do that, let's read out the daily stats for the Ethereum. So, at the moment, the 50-day is running at 3,800, and the EMA for the 200 is at 2,993. So, we're almost over 3,000 on the 200 moving averages as well. And it's really exciting where we are right now. So, we've started a brand new candle here, but that's awesome. Let's go to the monthly candle, though, and add those in. I'm going to have to probably reset the chart a little bit. So let's do that. And you can see that was our previous all-time high in the last bull market. So, yeah, we got to a high back in November 2021 of $4,867. And, of course, you can see the current week we've witnessed a new all-time high, 4,886. So it's only small at the moment. So what's that? That's $21 or something higher, new all-time high price. So that's a new all-time high. Awesome stuff. And the PulseChain sack there is sitting just below. So game on. It's time to really start to rock and roll and head up to some of these big numbers, right? So, this 15,000, this line here is a kind of around where Tom Lee is expecting us to go. Of course, he's probably been the best analyst out there for the last 10 years. And so that is that's the high point. So if we're going to go to Tom Lee's mark from here, that's approximately, if we get to 16,000, let's say, let's just do 15. That's kind of his first call. Then that's about 200% on Ethereum right now, which is pretty awesome. And if we go to 16, that's 234%, so a 3.3x from here. And that potentially could happen by the end of the year. And we can see that in the monthly chart. It looks quite doable, right? Obviously, a lot of profit-taking resistance. Probably our next resistance will probably be around 5,500 or something like that. So probably not far from where we are. Probably have a little breather there. But we've got so much buying, right, haven't we? We've got so much buying from the institutions. And where's all that buying happening? Well, it's a big FOMO from all institutions into Ethereum. So let's go to the Strategic ETH Reserve. Everybody's becoming pretty familiar with this page by now. And we haven't had any new updates in particular, but we're no doubt we're going to get some new updates with today's big price run as everybody wants to get in on the move. Brian says, correction, boss. Sorry, this fourth quarter fall in the US is going to be great. Awesome there, Brian. Awesome. I'm sure it will be. Brian is one of the best guys out there. So big shout out to Brian. Appreciate you. $1 million wise. Brendan's in the house there, says, I think the Soccer World Cup is being held in the US. It is indeed. Go the Warriors. I'm just kidding. Go the Knights. All right. So we got, so the last big buying we had on here was SharpLink, but we're likely to get some big updates by maybe tomorrow, the next day or so. So keep a look out for that with all the buying that's been pushing the ETH price up. And it comes back to my point that, a lot of these, Tom Lee talked about buying in the $4,150 range. So they're quite happy for the price to pull back. They accumulate some more. And of course they're trying to raise 20 billion. And we've also got Nexus down here. ETHZilla down here at number 10. That's trying to buy more. And we've got Nexus down here at number 14. That's got a $5 billion raise, right? So we've got billions of dollars yet to come in, guys. So yeah. Now, obviously, we've also seen exchanges do their naughtiness on trying to, dump their Ethereum so that they can take out the longs positions. That's obviously we see a bit of that game on as well. So be careful with margin trading out there. Pretty horrible stuff from the exchanges. So yep, that is where we are. And of course, we've got PulseChain SAC sitting there at number 5. Look at that beautiful number, 800 million, guys. Isn't that fantastic? And the total value now of the strategic ETH reserves, or SIRS as they call them, is just under $20 billion US. Isn't that amazing? 4.1 million ETH now in there. As you guys know, there's only 120.7 million ETH. And we've got 4.1 million now under the strategic ETH reserve entities, which is 3.39% of the supply. Now that 120 million, we have, obviously a lot of proof of staking. And we've got big, amounts and, entities like Lido with something like about 35% or so, plus or minus, staking in those protocols. We'll probably pull that out some stage and have a look at that. But that is kind of the overview of where we are right now. It's game on. It's game on, guys. And interest rates just helps put that final seal of approval there. Pretty awesome. It's going to lead us into PulseChain, Pulse Gains. So that's our coverage on the old crypto prices there the Ethereum strategic reserves. That's going to lead us into PulseChain. And I'm glad to say, PulseChain has got some green candles. Does anyone like green candles on PulseChain? Let me know. Brian says that took a long time to type and edit. Yes, feeling good. That's awesome, Brian. Appreciate the extra effort there. All right, so don't forget to smash the follow button on X and, of course, on YouTube. Smash the subscribe button. We're enjoying the green candles across the board. We've covered the stock market now. We've covered crypto and ETH. And now we're moving on to PulseChain. And, of course, PulseChain, a full system stake copy of Ethereum based on the 10th of May, 2023. Launched on the 13th of May, 2023. Got free from the SEC, which did a big court case against the PulseChain, PulseX, Hex, and Richard Hart on the 31st of July, and we have been under the dark clouds all the way until the 7th of July this year, when finally the final nail in the coffin of the SEC being defeated by Richard Hart and his super band of merry lawyers. And of course, PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex are free now. And of course, now we've got a chance to thrive. Now, typically, it doesn't always happen immediately on day one. We'd have a nice little rally into that move. We had a little pullback there, and now it's really with interest rate movements and PulseChain marketing coming up, it's really time for PulseChain to really start to lift. So, you always give a month or 2 months afterwards, and you probably see everything start to really ramp up. And of course, the timing and the cycle and all the fundamentals are driving us to glory. Now, there is also obviously the idea that we may have also delayed impacts depending on how, strategic reserve is treated and all sorts of things like that. Typically, one would wait to the ETH value got so damn high before you started, utilizing any of it. Alternatively, you think of something really clever without even using it, but actually creating value, like leveraging value off it. And that we'll see whether anything like that happens as well. That would be truly game changing. Right now, we got Pulse on day 834. We got Pulse at quadruple 0517, up 8.15%. So nice to see a nice little move here. We're still pretty close to the mean average stack price of 52%. So still not quite free from that yet, but it's a nice little gain today. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0394, up almost 10%. That's sitting at 40% of the mean sacrifice price. So we're still stuck in this zone, but we do have a lot of optimism for moving higher. We've got obviously millions of dollars have come over the chain, just sitting on the chain from the last big move of capital. Something like $4 million or so seems to be sitting in multiple wallets. So, is that getting ready for a God mode candle? Getting ready for something like that, we shall see. And of course, we've got Richard Hart's marketing potentially, within a few days and potentially lasting weeks there with multiple shipments, not only to the US, but other countries as well. So we'll see. We've got Ink token at the moment, $1.95, up 7.65%. We've got Hex at the moment, 1.1 cents, up 7.3%. And the EHEX at 21/100 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX at 1.3 cents right now on PulseChain. Going to the gas prices. We got 823,000 beats there, 2 cents for a PulseX swap. And we got the validators right now, 52,236, pretty similar to what we've seen in the last couple of days. The bridge, of course, is what we like to look at. $115.9 million. Isn't that fantastic? That is so really good. So you guys know I have a snapshot from the 10th. So this is 13 days ago. We're sitting at $107.4 million. By comparison, we're now at 115.9 million. So that is awesome stuff there. Really, really incredible. So congratulations on that. We had 6,726 ETH. We're at 6,759. So we have had some ETH go out from the looks of it. But our DAI is definitely up 22.8 million. We're now at 24.4. So that's really nice. So even though the ETH, we did have high ETH, we're almost at 7,000. We've lost some ETH there. EHEX was sitting at 18.8 million, now 20.2 million. So that's up obviously in price value in particular, and is up actually the amount of HEX bridged over. We've had another 127 million HEX, or no, 120 million HEX bridged over to PulseChain from the looks of it. USDC, we're at 17.6 million. We're now at 19.4. So a big move in USDC. We know that this is a preferred token from obviously Ramp now and also Liberty Swap. So probably getting a lot more use of USDC, and of course the big wallet that wallets that are moving that big money over. You can decide. So we'll see. We got USDC was 5.2 million. We're now at 5.8. So that's up really nice, up about $640,000. So yeah, we've had pretty good trends in all the stable coins. The only pullback from yesterday that I can see is the ETH seems to be down a little bit there. So that is the play on that. So not bad. Now the talk of the town, of course, is this stuff I mentioned earlier about Liberty Swap. We have 4 liquidity forks, right? We have USDL, PXDC, HEXDCs, and native stablecoins rather than bridged in ones, what we just talked about. And then we have Coast as well, which is our fiat background, right? So these 3 are liquidity forks. We also have Ink Printer from Fast Abdul, and that's got a pretty similar capital raise as PXDC, so using PulseX. That's got about $900,000 in that. And so, they're all contributing to that. So what's that, 1.7, 56.2 or something. So maybe $6.5 million in stable coins for the liquidity forks. And then we got $11 million from Coast, which is about 10.8, wasn't it? 10.8. So that's the amount of money we've got there right now. And we've obviously Liberty Swap's talked about having a couple of more liquidity forks coming. So presumably they're going to use other tokens, not Richard Hart core tokens. So what are they going to be? Wrap Bitcoin, PDI? I don't know. We'll see. And we also got another, like I say, balancer fork coming. So that would be our second one by my count. And so yeah, that's operational at least that on the chain. And so yeah, exciting times. And of course, Better Bank just launched very successfully with a modified Aave fork there, and that is done super successful this month. So we had 2 big launches this month, Better Bank and of course Unity, which we're going to talk about later on. So kind of cool. Everything heading in the right direction, guys. So that's the cool stuff there. And of course, we're waiting for PUSD ALGO. It'll be the first algorithmic stablecoin that we're really looking at there. I know we have, a different version with the volatile version of XUSDC, XUSDX, sorry. But we have to wait and see how that's going to perform. It's using market incentives and trading. We know that the team has probably a bit of capital in the play, lots of tricks, and of course involved with the Better Bank as well. And no doubt looking at these other forks and things. So we'll keep a lookout for what these guys are up to. They got plenty of tricks up their sleeves from the looks of it. So that is the play there. We've got a lot of things happening with the native stablecoins. It's going to help us because, stablecoins are going to be a mega theme over the next few years with the Genius Act. We're looking forward to that. And we found out recently PUSD ALGO is going to have alignment being readjusted to align with the Genius Act as well. So we're going to have a bit of everything, guys. Liquidity forks, Coast stables, and PUSD algorithmic stablecoin could be absolutely glorious on PulseChain, right, leading the way. So that's kind of cool stuff there. Let's have a quick look at the PulseChain tracker. You guys know this is credit to Gerardo, and this is look into rh.com. We can see that we're currently holding at $800 million, which is fantastic. It's a beautiful number. And of course, I know that the community is going to go absolutely crazy once we hit $1 billion. But 800 million is such a huge milestone. We're now 27.4% in the money, $172.2 million. Now, why do I say we? Well, because Richard Hart was the one that got this registered. He's the one that instigated all this really early onto the Strategic ETH Reserve. And it's very exciting to see that and put that in the public face, right? So all these things contributed to the PulseChain SAG being kind of like a strategic reserve PulseChain, and it's looking really good. So it's going to ride all that thing really, really soon. So looking pretty good there. $172 million in the money. Awesome, eh? How about that? And we know that if we went to Pumpamentals and we took just a fraction of that, and we might do that later on. Let's actually pull up the site there just for that, so we can have a bit of fun moon math. We will play around with just shaving a little bit off what that is, just for the fun of it, right? So obviously we want to let it continue to grow into billions, but you get my point. That is pretty awesome. $172 million. So let's jump over into the rest of the moves here. We've got PulseChain. So let's have a look at the total market cap volume. We're sitting at $29.6 million of 24-hour volume now on PulseChain. 331,000 transactions, which is pretty much in the range 300 to 400,000 that we normally get. In terms of best performers, we got Trump Official. Now, apparently, Trump Official, as I saw it, actually bridged out a lot of money over the bridge. So sold, and I think the team sold and moved it over. So I think that might be a little bit controversial there. That Trump Official. I think Crypto Soul or something like that did some analysis on that. But you can check that out. We got ZK Pulse there. So that's been pretty exciting. You obviously have to be cautious when you first see these new features, of course, around privacy. So I think we have a description down here. So we got ZK Pulse. Now this is actually now because people are using the website. This is now deflationary, as I understand it. So ZK Pulse there. So you got your privacy transfers. You can do 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion. We've seen this before, of course. So you just have to be cautious, but you can test it out if you want. ZK Pulse there. So Tornado Cash Fork, right? So that's kind of where we are right now at 1,500 of a penny. So we got another new launch. Maybe end up being important as long as it's stable and secure. You have to do due diligence on that. I've not done that part yet. But I do understand it's now deflationary with the fees, I guess, that they charge you for going through it. We got DevC Coin, been around for 6 days. That's up 50%. So yeah, ZK Pulse was around for 2 days. And of course, privacy is going to be another big theme on PulseChain, right? Because we're a DeFi chain. That's Richard Hart loves that. So we're going to see a lot more things around privacy. Sparta, of course, and this was the cool call by our awesome member here, Sean. And Sean posted this earlier and yesterday as well. Said Train leaving the station on Sparta, and definitely is a top performer there. Now, obviously, it has a Hex treasury. It's sitting at number 5, 6, and 7 on the trending there. Been around for 4 months and is up 36%. So pretty good there. We'll have to have a look at one of the peers and see how that's going. But really been pumping the last few days, and look at that. Yeah, it looks like it's really trying to push higher there. On the 4-hourly chart, let's go to the daily. There's the daily chart there right now on the Sparta. This is Sparta. Sorry, I couldn't spit on the screen, but that is the key. I was also watching the parody of the Sparta movie, which is hilarious. It's pretty hilarious. And it's like, why are you throwing everyone in the hole for, and stuff like that? It's pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, jokes aside, so this is Sparta, and it's performing really well with the Hex down. In fact, let's go to the website. We haven't been to the website for a while. Let's have a little look at where the price is. So the price currently is 8.6 cents on Sparta. And I think we have some stats, do we? Some stats. So 2 billion Sparta supply, 14.6 million in the LP, 1.8 billion has been burned. Treasury has 64.6 million in there. Circulating is 105 million. So there we are, some of the numbers there. Treasury, apparently the Hex in USDC is $523,000. So of Hex is sitting in the DAO Treasury there. And my basic understanding, it's a reflection token, right? And that it accumulates buy some Hex with that, puts in the DAO, and then once Hex pumps in the future to the moon, then they're going to use that to buy and burn, Sparta itself. I think that's the basic idea how all that works. They got the vision right there. You can check that out, LP and bridging there. So that is Sparta. So there we go. This is Sparta, and that's a tribute to Sean. That's a Sean there. It's a Sean tribute. Now we got Reserve Tay there, number 8 and 9. That's up 32%, looking pretty good. Liberty, 2 months ago, that's been around 31% on that one. Number 10, so that's topping our top 10 is Liberty, and that's up 31%. Now we don't see a lot of our big names. I mean, maybe one people could argue we've got Unity there, of course. Unity wasn't there, but it's just popped in there, isn't it? I don't know. It just jumped up there. It's up 39%. We're going to talk about Unity in a minute, so we'll talk about that separately because it's a gangster. It's a gangster there. Good gangster, right? Good gangster. We got, what else? We got number 12 there, obviously CK Pulse as well. Number 13 is Dump Tires. It's been around for 9 days. It's up 21%. A Troper from James Maria. Always seems to come back in ebbs and flows, if you notice, the James Maria stuff. That's up 18% right now. Let's have a look at where that is at. Let's make sure I've got the right peers here. We'll look at this one here, 188K volume. And yeah, it's pushing almost a new time high. Yeah, wow. So all-time high is around 17.8 cents, and we're at 17.48. So looks like it's going to push higher today, doesn't it? I haven't overlaid any RSIs on here, but it's certainly on the move. What else we got going here? We got Love.io from Anders. You know, Anders, we interviewed Anders. We're looking forward to big things out there for Love.io. Can they launch their phone app? Can they get their network platforms? Are they going to be expanding from their current offering? It's like what I call one of the mini corporates. I think we got like 2 corporates. It's like the mini corporate, really mini. But it's up 17%. We've got Aave, a PulseChain fork. Now, obviously, Richard Hart's, you know, how's the market going to value all the copies on PulseChain? Well, we've been seeing that, and currently, apparently, Aave token is worth 56 cents, and it's got a market cap of 8.9 million. So you can copy stuff and make money out of thin air. How about that? So 56 cents, and it's up 17%. Curve have been around for 5 months, so it's probably Pump Tires version, up 17% there as well. Now, Pump Tires has obviously been dominating a lot of PulseChain stuff recently, in particular, and there's a lot of people that operate over there, and it is I don't know. Some people describe it as the casino, but then it's also a good way if you're able to fully bond the curve on Pump Tires. You need to get something like 82% of the value. Then you can, it's a good way of launching tokens for those that are willing to do that. Maybe with a bigger project vision. We saw SolidX Firewall do that with many of the Pump Tires. We got Fitzgerald Company. This is apparently a group of 4, like the Beatles, and this is some building company, I think, out of in America, and it's really dominated by 4 guys. So you're really banking on 4 guys holding it and not selling, right? I've seen these kind of things before. I'm not I think the idea is right, and the concept's a really good idea. But really, it just takes 1 of 4 potentially to sell down their bags, right? That's the thing. And I've seen this happen before. So you decide there. But at the moment, 2.5 cents. So, chart's looking pretty good. And just take note of the risk there. All right. So what else have we got? Peacock, number 17, sitting at 8,200 of a penny, up 17% as well. Obviously, this has actually had a nice little rebound because this was, had been sold down for quite a few days, as we can see here, 5 days. Had topped out at 1.6 cents, is now down at basically half of that, and having a couple of green day reversals there. Now, obviously, on the back of Liberty Swap, of course, one of our big on-ramps that bring 40 chains on the PulseChain, and with 3 stable coins off, essentially. So USDC, USD Tether, and DAI, and terrific service. Particularly, they've been ramping up the liquidity that you can do over there too, and limits. So definitely looking good there. So the team seems to be delivering. They seem to have a bit of inside information and seem to have some sort of backer as well. So they're a bit of a mysterious bunch. But at the moment, that's kind of where they are on the chart there. Seems to be getting a lot of love with their meme coin, Peacock, right? What else we got going there? We got Teddy Bear from James Maria. So we got James Maria's, where'd they go? Troper up at number 14. We also got Teddy Bear sitting here at 21 to 23. Now, every time I see Teddy Bear, I always think of, the Teddy Bear of the movie and the New Yorker accent, because I love New Yorker accents, especially the Italian ones, right? Especially Italians. But yeah, they're sitting at number 21, 23, and that's up 13% right now. Hex Pump Tires, been around for 6 months, 12.6% up there. Incognito, been around for 8 months, up 12.3%, number 25. So those are top 25. So we got certainly plenty of double digits today, which is nice to see. But you guys know we can't wait till we see the whole board of these with like 30, 40% gains. All right, that's when we really get excited with the old altcoin season. Number 26 is Your Mum, and this is related to Elon Musk, I think it is, the 12%. Lady Gaga, and that's up 20%. Number 27. What else? We got BFF, I guess related to OG WebChef, I think, memory, up 12% there as well. Number 29 is Die Hard. So if you like P-Die, then Die Hard there, a derivative, I guess, up 11.9%. We got RSI oversold, number 30, up 11.7%, and Top Hat there from Crypto Coffee, of course, one of the biggest influencers on PulseChain, and that is sitting at number 31 right now, up 11.7%. Now, they don't seem to do much around Top Hat. I mean, a couple of farms and stuff, but it seems to be pretty damn resilient, and I guess can't you blame it there? It's with the biggest, one of the biggest influencers on PulseChain there. What else? We got Solana, number 32, up at 10.7%. Little pump tires there, so pump tires version. So, we've got fork versions of these coins. We've got pump tire versions. So, and people can launch their own contract with token creators and stuff like that. So, we could have 50 Solana Flamma tokens if we wanted. This is crypto. ALGO, of course, a Hex derivative. And when Hex runs, I think ALGO is going to really run really well. This is up 10% right now at 1,500th of a penny. We'll have a quick look at this one, actually. This is the Hex pair. And we can see that chart looking pretty awesome, eh? That's a pretty awesome chart. Look at that thing. Go ALGO. And, of course, they were, interesting enough, a sponsor on Midgard. And looks like there's some changes happening with Midgard. So we'll keep a lookout for Midgard changes. Keep a note of that. Set a little, what do you call that when you drop something? It's a little, I can't remember, little morsel. Let's call it morsel, but it's something else. Can't remember. Yeah, so we got some cool stuff happening. We got Blitz, of course, from we had a new farm launched recently, PulseChain. We got about 7 farms now that are really, I guess, significant on PulseChain. They're not all on DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama's been listing quite a few sites. Have you noticed that lately? Of a PulseChain. So we're getting recognition, guys. DeFi Llama just posting out on their X space, on their X channel about projects on PulseChain, and that's just happened the last couple of days. So things are turning, guys. Things are turning. Really, it's exciting, but I think they need to add all the farms, and I think the farms out there, we're talking about the Emmett farm, talking about excuse me, Nexian farms, talking about Function Island farms, Nova farms. You guys need to get out there and get on DeFi Llama, get yourself registered. We need to get that TVL accounted for. I think we're underpriced on the TVL over on DeFi Llama for the chain. So we need to get that addressed. It's nice having some of these other protocols get listed, like Betterbank. Betterbank got listed with the 21 million TVL. But we really need to get that stuff happening. In fact, let's go to DeFi Llama since I'm talking about it. Let's go to DeFi Llama and check out PulseChain, Pulse Gains. What's happening here? What the fudge? Let's go to. Have I got this on a filter or something? What have I done? I think I might have this on a filter or something because it's not showing the normal dashboard. Okay, let's get out of DeFi Llama. I'm going to have to pull it up another day. I'm not going to try and work out what I've got done there. But we've got a lot of things happening. All right, let's jump into the rest of the move. We've got any more comments in the chat? We've got quite a few comments. Let's see here. Who else has jumped in the chat here? Let's see what we got. We got Trev in the house there. G'day, Superman and team. Hey, good to see you, Trev. Welcome. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to smash the follow on X. And, of course, smash the subscribe button on YouTube. We're streaming to 3 YouTube channels and on X, of course. And we've got a great bunch of people watching right now. So I really appreciate the support, everybody. And I hope you guys are enjoying the Green Candle Day. And it's just the sign of things to come. Very, very awesome. See you, folks. See you, Brian. Big shout out there. We've got Starboy there about something about Zen and Zero. I'm not quite sure the context there. But we'll probably talk about that coming up soon. Q Baller in the house there. Morning all. Good shout out there, Q Baller. Tom Boss as well. Sparta sending hard now, says Tom Boss. There's actually 200 million Hex and Sparta treasury wallets. There are 2, and the site doesn't show both here. Okay, cool. Thanks for that, Tom Boss. So that is an update there for the Sparta and Hex. Big burn coming, says Sean O'Malley for Sparta. Okay, cool. Thanks, Superman. You're most welcome there. Big night on Unity. I'm all in, says Sean. Yeah, big night on Unity. We're going to get to that very shortly. Unity performing like a boss, says Brennan. We got Hartwood, the dog founder, in the house there with the ultimate anime series on PulseChain, Pulse of the Fallen. Big shout out there. Happy Sunday, Superman and PulseChain. Absolutely. Not quite Sunday yet, though, is it? Saturday here in New Zealand. Friday still in the United States. So there we go. It is currently, we're at the front of the time zone, right? So it's 1:15 in the afternoon on Saturday, the 23rd of August. So we're talking from the future here every day, 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. Saturday down under, says Brennan. That's right. Saturday down under. Yeah, g'day, says Brennan. G'day. All right, so looking good there. All right, so let's get into the rest of the mix. We've got so much cool stuff happening. Let's quickly move down. We're basically down to the top 10. So we've got 34 projects now on above 10% that are trending here on the deck screen, a default view, right? Obviously, there's other tokens doing really well. They're not on this list. But let's get into some of these other ones that we've got down here. I'm going to pick off a few. We've got Mafia. We're expecting Mafia. Now, I do think with the change in Mafia that because we've got on-chain bet launching in September, there's a good thing we could see Mafia launch in September, if not October. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get those launches there. And that would mean, what for PUSD ALGO? Or maybe PUSD ALGO December or the first quarter of next year. I'm hoping for the end of this year. That'd be fantastic. I think that'd be great timing. But it's fingers crossed for that. Let's see what else. If you know, you know. We've got PDC the Greys, of course, the big DAO that's had a bit of a rebound there, up 9.4%. Now, this is one of the blue chips on PulseChain, right? And this is had a bit of a sell-off after that nice, beautiful rally. Look at that rally up there. Went to 000, 8,700. Came all the way back down to 000.55. Now, it's gone up a little bit there to 0.0061 on the US price there. We have got a bit of a negative across here, but I think it might get closed out and probably bounce off it. So keep a lookout for that. What else are we going to say about that? I don't have the RSI on here, but you can definitely check that out. Let's have a look at 4 hourly, see if we've got any more indicators here. Yeah, we've got a bullish cross coming up for the 4 hourlies. So, yeah, never know. May just break out there and bounce that, reject that daily cross and onwards and upwards from there. All right, so what else we got going? We got SolidX at $12.65. Now we're expecting this to launch in September. So probably the end of September is that we're expecting SolidX to launch, but they've got multiple products. So obviously got the Telegram bot already operating pretty well and lots of prizes and cool limit orders. They got limit orders and really fast, apparently, really execute on time. And so that's pretty good. And we're waiting for the big X game to come. And so SolidX at $12.65. So really excited about that from Firewall coming up September. What else there? Liquid loans up 8.3% right now. What else there? Remember, but OG Web Chef up 8%. Hex there, of course, sitting at 1.1 cents. Got to pick up Hex before the train leaves, really. Got to pick up that before the train leaves. We've got Surf is back up. So nice to see Surf back up, 7.4 cents. Let's have a look at the price of that right now. It is 1/10 of a penny and really undervalued here. We had a couple of whales or a couple of larger holders, I understand, that sell out back in here and back up here. But really, a really good chance to list, move off this level. Now, the Crypto Paradise team, I think, is amazing. They're really open-minded, which I really like. They're really professional, which I really like, and they're constantly promoting, which I really like. And they're onboarding and bringing a lot of the people from multi-chain over to PulseChain, which is fantastic. So these guys really are the juggernaut. They're the other large channel that does daily shows in the crypto besides the Crypto Night show. And so that's really, really exciting to have them here. And of course, they're particularly large. They're very large KOLs. So really good to see that. And of course, I think Surf has its own DAO, right? And lots of perks in the DAO. So definitely worth checking out there from Crypto Paradise team. What else we got going? Let's scroll down a little bit further here. What else? Let's have a look, pick off a few more. Teddy Takeover down here, it's up 6.6% right now. Trump token up 6%. UFO is sitting here as well, up 6%, all bundled together. BBC token there, we're expecting a 9-inch, both together actually at the moment. So they're up about 5.8%. Now, Hexy Bastard did come back about a week ago and say that he was going to, he's back and that he's going to do some big things ahead. So we'll keep a lookout for those. We do expect these to re-rate anyway, 9-inch, 9mm, as we move into a bull market on PulseChain, because all the values go up and they're all more valuable, right? All those DEX tokens. So we'll keep a lookout for that. 9mm is also next to them. Hilarious. They're all together today. How about that? Up 5.7%. It was meant to be, so they could talk about it. So there we are, 9mm and 9-inch, all on the move. We expect that. Now we've got Finvestor there from OG WebChef, $8.80 right now, up 5%. So obviously the ecosystem's not doing too much these days. And then we get down to PulseChain, the new farm, of course, we talked about, up 5.5%. Time dividend for me is a bit like a DEX. It's a wallet, of course, and they to PulseChain. What do we say? Almost over 85,000 downloads, probably something like that. And it's got obviously swapping fees. If you hold the time token, you earn swapping fees, and so it's a bit like a DEX, right? So a little bit like these ones. So and the chart looks pretty amazing, actually. Let's have a look at it right now. Yeah, that's the chart right now, looking pretty damn good, right? So that is the time dividend from KG, right? And what else we got going? A few pump tires down here as well. We got GoPulse down here, 3.2% right now. We got Pump Tires and RhinoFi. Big shout out to the RhinoFi team there. They got their charging going on right now with the buy and burn. Obviously getting a little bit of sell pressure there, but otherwise the buy and burn's operating as required. We got Source Unminimum, a big corporate, is down 3.4%. Now this team could move this price whenever they wanted. If they want to push this price up, they've got millions of dollars sitting in the buy and burn kitty. They're just choosing not to, because the lower the price, the more they burn. And of course, we're expecting news to come out for Sun Mini in September, October kind of thing. We've got some probably a number of milestones, including the Floyn listing. And of course, they had their live stream with the Floyn CEO a couple of days ago, and they were just giving a quick overview of that. But that's going to bring potentially our first institutional investing that I'm aware of onto PulseChain in a major way. So through the Floyn markets there. So they have a high value customer list. I think it's from memory, and it's just on the top of my head, but I think it's something like 11 or 12,000 clients. But they're all high value, pretty high. Well, not all of them, but most of them be high value, and some institutional relationships there. We also know that Sun Mineral has relationships into investment banks as well, and this is from Europe, the Europe side, not the American side this time. And so that could be really something to keep a look out. Is the old Sun Mineral. So it is something we'll be looking over the next couple of months, and of course it's still early days in their life and history there, right? They want to be a $1 billion coin on PulseChain. And so it's a bit of time to go there as well. Now, the other ones that we're seeing some peppy memes down here, down 4%. We've got Bria there from Rack and Michelle. Well, he's not the one who founded it, but his wife's dog's called Bria. And they've got their big launches coming out from Coinwell and others. And he wants to make Bria token there the number one meme coin on PulseChain. So down today, maybe an opportunity for tomorrow. Let's see. We've got counting down less than 3 weeks, about 3 weeks to go until the Coinwell is expected to launch. We've got a few others there. Zendog, which was pretty trendy a couple of days ago. That is down 50% almost. So, this is the way it goes sometimes, and so forth. So that's our top 100 right now. And we can see that, over 10% on returns right now. We've got 34. So one and three, pretty much over 10% gain today. Still a pretty demure day from my count, but maybe we'll see some real move in the next day or two on PulseChain, and we'll see some maybe even a God mode candle could pop up. You just never know, because we've got all that money that's come over, and it seems to just be sitting in multiple wallets and just doing nothing, which is kind of cool. I like that. And we know Richard Hart marketing is coming up anytime now.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
And that is true. So we could see it at any time. What else? We got Brennan in the house there. Hey, good to see you, Brennan. G'day. And we got Check My Pulse. Yippee-ki-yay. Hexagon says here, Check My Pulse. That's very cool. Good evening, Superman and everybody. Woohoo! Says Check My Pulse. Awesome. Tombas says Unity is looking great too. Hope it plays out well like Taurus is. Yeah, we're going to check all that out. We're going to go to that now. That's our next. We're going to do Pulse, Pumpamentals, and then we're going to go to Taurus and Unity. That's where we're going. Hope it plays out like Taurus. I love the Hog, says Sean. Yeah, Hog is doing amazing. So big shout out to the Hog there. Absolutely amazing. Expect a lot more from that team. They got a big giveaway at the moment, so you can go check that out too. Heartwood Dog. Christine said, "Phew, I made it. Phew, I made it." Evening, everybody. Hey, good to see you, Christine. Welcome. All right, we've got a great bunch of people watching right now, so I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the follow and hit the subscribe button. Of course, one of the two large PulseChain channels that cover the markets daily, 8 p.m. Eastern. along with Crypto Paradise. A big shout out to that team as well. Check out Nate and Nick and, of course, Amaru on that channel. They did a fantastic job. So daily shows, very, very cool. All right, let's jump into it. Let's go find the pulse chart because I want to bring in, I want to do some moon math with the old, let's go with, where we're going to Richard Hart. Let's go to pulse and let's bring up the contract there. And we actually might do the chart. Should we do the chart too? Yeah, why not? Let's do it while we're here. And we'll have a look here on the daily. Let me just, I've got so many overlays, man. It's crazy. All right. So that's the overlays with the moving averages right now. We've got our golden crosses. Everything's in place. We're riding up these charts. Looking pretty good, right? On the daily there. So I think X looking pretty good. RSI's cooled off too. We came down from that high, cooled off there, 58. So we're looking pretty good. 4 hourly. Let's look at that. Looks like at the moment on Pulse. Let's auto log that. And that's looking pretty good too. Nice little bounce on the old Pulse at 4,600. So I'm just taking off the zeros, right? The 4 zeros, 4,600, and we're now at 5,200. So that's a nice little move there. Well, it looks like we're getting really set for some good moves. Plenty of room in the RSI and the 4 hourly too. And as you guys know, the daily has got a lot of room to move. Yeah, boy. All right, so let's go to we've got the weekly there. It's very easy to turn the live stream into a comedy show sometimes, but look at these moves on the weekly. We've got the 9 weekly average moving above the 21 moving weekly average, moving above the 34 weekly average. And what do we see right now? We're about to cross the 9 moving average. It's about to cross the 50 weekly moving average on PulseChain. Isn't that awesome? So we're about to get this really nice cross, suggesting that we've got a nice little upside there to go. And we've got this some sort of wonky W formation as well. And that's looking good too. So, and plenty of room in the RSI. Sitting at 60 there to try and move higher from here. So yeah, let's see. And we might get some little gold mode candle to push us up. Exciting times. Now, yeah, we might even see the price, maybe go past the mean. We'll get a nice gold mode candle, just a little inch away and go all the way up to, I don't know, what do you reckon? 00015, something like that. Keep a lookout, guys. 00015. You heard it. Yeah, secret. That's a little secret. All right. Stop telling secrets. All right. So that's the play right now. So looking good. Let's put that in the old pumpamentals, and bam, there we go. And that should line up. I'm pretty sure the Pulse one reads properly here. So yeah, that looks all pretty good. So we're going to take the calculator down. So we've got the price currently around 5,200, and of course we saw that strategic ETH reserve. Let's look into Richard Hart there, and we can see that we're we're slightly down from where we started. We're down 5 mil, but hey, look, moves around. Now we got 167 million in profit. So even if we took like 50 or 100 million off, we'd still be in the money. Like even if we took 100 million, we'd be 67 million in the money. And obviously we don't want to do that because we know ETH is going to go to the moon. So we just want to get this 800 million turning into billions of dollars. So that's really the play. And of course we know that Richard Hart's thinned out liquidity pools on PulseChain because of the incentive token reduction and all the rest of it. And so yeah, let's play around with this. So if we had just a couple $1 million, let's say I think we had about $4 million coming over just sitting in wallets. So that would be a nice little 40% pump on the old PulseChain right now, which would move the price from 5,200 to 7,300, which is a pretty nice little move there on the old PulseChain. So that would take us up to around this level here. Now to get it back up to this level here, which is 8,600, this previous local top. Remember that we've beaten the downtrend here, right? I don't know if the overlay's there. We've beaten that orange downtrend and so forth. So let me just get rid of that circle. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that either now. Don't need that either. We don't need that. So yeah, we've got Richard Hart promotions on the line as well. And I've got a red line there for that, which is not very helpful, but red line there for Richard Hart promotions. Let me move that up because it's a bit in the way, but we've got Richard Hart promotions pretty imminent too. So that's kind of cool. And we're moving really nicely. Yeah, looking good. So that is that's some of the cool stuff there. So let's say that we have to get to a bit higher there. So we even take off a little bit more just to get us to that 3 zeros 1,500, which is what I was sort of teasing about. That would be another $15 million to get us there. So $15 million, and that's a 2.9x to get us back up to 15. Now, obviously, if we just want to get back to the main sacrifice price, then that's a little bit cheaper. So let's see what that would be right now. That would be a 2x essentially from here, about $8.7 million. And of course, very doable there, very doable. So let's see what happens in the days and weeks ahead here for that. So that's kind of cool. But if we're actually just basing on the scraping some of this money, and not that we're going to, but because there's other money around, right? But that would be the idea. Now, let me just go pump metals. So let's just go quickly to the moon math. Let's do 25 mil. And 25 mil is going to get us almost a 5x. So it'll take us from 5,200 all the way to 000. So we're going to drop a zero, obviously, and end up at 2,500, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's a net buying, of course. We have to absorb the selling. So there's net buying. And then, of course, we get the 50 mil net buying. And of course, you guys know what Richard Hart says. You guys are the sell pressure. The sell pressure. But we got the 11.23x if we get a 50 million pump in there. That would take us to 00058. And let's go 75 mil. Let's just tease this out a bit there. 75. That's going to be a 20.5x. That would get us to 1/10 of a penny. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys like 1/10 of a penny? I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. So 1/10 of a penny, that would be pretty amazing. And but let's go the full hog. Let's go to this only goes to 100 million, so we're just going to 100 million here. But that's a 20x. So let's go all the way. We'll go 32.5x. That would get us to 1/1600th of a penny, and that's net buying pressure. So we'd have to have probably more than 100 million. But that's the play. Now that might seem a lot, relative to this. Now this excludes other money, right, which we see come over the bridge often. But this will be pretty awesome. So this gets up to, we get to 15K, this gets to $2.5 billion, right? $2.5 billion. So scraping off, 50 million, even off 2.5 billion is nothing. Staking it, of course, you can stake it. And just like all the strategic ETH reserves that are staking it, you can, earn income, and you could just shave off that. Once we get up into the billions, just shave off 50 million and pump that into PulseChain all the time, right? Pump that into PulseChain. So I mean, if you're just pumping 50 million in, if you had it staked, of course you're taking, potentially some custodial risk there or whatever. But 50 million, it's another 10x there from easy. So, man, once these institutions come into crypto and they pump everything up and becomes a mature market, then PulseChain's sitting on a cash cow, right? Cash cow. It's just sitting. It's like, you guys are so early at the right place at the right time. And Tom Lee calls this the biggest play over the next 10 years. This is the biggest financial play over the next 10 years. Is the Ethereum play, and that's why he's gone so quickly into it. So as you guys know, Bitcoin Immersion was essentially a Bitcoin mining. It was a small Bitcoin mining company, and of course he's ended up taking that over, and is now the chairman of Bitcoin Immersion, and now of course now the number one strategic ETH reserve with 1.5 million Ethereum, and they did that all inside something like 6 weeks or so, and they're looking at 6 million coins to get that sovereign put, as they call it, holding 5% of the supply. So it really is game on. And so, PulseChain SAC looking really strong, and they're going to pump all our bags. So all these guys, the stock market is pumping PulseChain. It's that simple, and that's that direct, correlation is going to happen. It's going to be indirect, I think, at first, and we may see if Richard plays it in a more direct manner later on. So it's going to be pretty fun to see that play. All right, so that is the pump mentals. I thought we'd play around with that a bit. That's going to lead us into Unity. Unity, of course, just launched on PulseChain from Cryptographics. Obviously, a very well-known top, one of the large PulseChain influencers as well. Obviously, not streaming so much purely on PulseChain these days, but of course is now a founder of Unity and doing an amazing job there. So pretty awesome. We had the pump overnight. Look at that. There's the 4-hourly chart. Look at that pump. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're sitting around $12.15, and then we pumped all the way up to $16.74. We're currently at $16.53, so looking really good. Now, you guys know there's not a lot of supply coming out for some time to come, and so we went through this the other day in quite in depth with the profile coming up, and there's not stuff for weeks coming out. Now, we're still early days in the protocol, so I think we're on day 5 now. But I really hard to see this chart coming down, especially in the current climate, and we'll be looking out for that. Now, obviously, you guys know the more important than the US dollar price is actually the PulseX price ratio, or the ratio, I should say, and we're now at 418,000. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the switching over from creating to staking is, but I've got here at 100,000 at the moment, so I'll have to find that. I don't know if Cryptographics is watching, but you can let us know in the chat if I've got that the right position. But that is where I had it at. All right, so let me jump away from that. So that is the chart right now on Unity, looking fantastic. So let's go to the Unity results, and we can see at the moment. Let me just get rid of that view there. But we've got at the moment, you can go use Pulse X or Pulse, right, to go in. You just have to toggle the buttons there, and you can make a creation. Make a creation basically gets you shares, and those shares get you a share of the reward pool. That's how simple it really is. There's a reward pool, and there's shares. And when you make a creation or you do a stake, you get some shares of the root, and those shares give you a share of the reward pool. That's how easy it is. It's that simple. Now, obviously, there's a bit more mechanics around, doing how you might play your strategy out. You can do laddered creations, laddered stakes, and stakes have more optionality, so you can end the stake 50% of the way through. And in terms of the price, so there's lots of little things that do go on there, but it's probably a bit further down the track. Some of those things you have to sort of set up now, but we may see some of that play out, into the future there. So, we're talking about, 40, 30, 40, 50 days from now. We'll see some of those sort of things play out maybe. So at the moment, you can put an amount of Pulse or PulseX. Let's just do PulseX as a default. And so if you did, let's see, if you did a, what's that? How much Pulse is that? 10 million PulseX. It's $392. If you did it for 88, which is the max length, it's going to give you 99, almost 100 Unity straight away. Now, you don't get to claim users straight away, otherwise everyone would be selling it on the market, right? So you don't do that, but you get it as accumulates inside that contract for 88 days, and you get to claim it all at the end. So I just call this day 0. You get that straight away, 99.6. Day 1, you're going to get a share of this 4,752 Unity, which is your share of the reward pool based on the amount of shares you have. How many shares do you have? Well, you have 772 1,000 shares, and that's your individual share for this creation, and then that's a share of the total shares, and that's total shares gives you a share of the reward pool, which we'll talk about in a minute. That's kind of where we are right now. We got the ROI expected at the moment 20,322%. Obviously, as more people come into the protocol, as the price moves around, these ROIs will change. At the moment, if you took that as a daily, that's 230% per day in relative Unity value, right? So this one here, you're getting 188th if you're doing 88 days. Now, if you are dropping it it drops dramatically once you lower the days, right? This is all the idea of a staking protocol with higher RORs, higher return on investments, which is to push people out longer term. So if you drop this even by, let's say 8 days, from 88 to 8 days, you'll see the shares go down, and the estimated earned Unity, which is what you're going to earn over the next 88 days, go down. So if we change this to 80 days, you see that all goes down pretty dramatically. See? So we've gone down from 770,000 to 80,000 shares. And so you're getting a lot less Unity earned. That's the idea there. You're also getting less Unity created for day 0. That's kind of what you bank. So every day you move forward in time, you bank a little bit more of this estimated Unity on a daily basis, right? So that's the key there. Obviously, the ROI gone down too. So that's kind of the play there. Now, if someone big comes in and let's say, I don't know, they do 100 million, they can really lower the ROI as well, right? So let's go to the max period. They come in and they do a big max. They can really lower the amount there. So I'm not sure what the max is, but let's put the max in. We've got $4,000, 100 million PulseX. Let's say someone comes in. I don't know if they have the max on this. I'm not sure. Let's put in something, see if we can push the system a little bit there. We've got zeros there, 3, and let's add another 0. Let's go to $40,000. See how it lowers the ROI there when I go from $4,000 to $40,000 in the protocol. So I don't think we can go to 400. I think it's 200 is the max, I thought, but it's got 10 billion PulseX. Maybe that's the max, but that drops the ROI down to 13,000 because we've got such a big player coming in the protocol there. So yeah, take care. So we've got Burn at the moment, Burned as well. Actually, we jumped away from stake, but if you've got Taurus, if you do own it on the market, there's not a lot around, and you can stake that as well. You have to pay a 5% premium, and you can get some shares and get a share of the reward pool. And obviously, the ROI is way low at the moment, given the price of where Unity is on the market, and we can see it's pretty high right now in terms of the ratio. So let's jump over to the Burn. The Burn captures all this value that people are putting in terms of Pulse and PulseX, and we can see it's captured heaps of value. Look at that. Wow, that's awesome, eh? So thick game 30, as Jake Sharp would say, thick game 30. That's cryptographics playing some genius moves here. So let's have a look at the 105,000 plus 324. That gives us 429,000 now in the buy and burn. This is with Pulse and PulseX, obviously on the little price bounce as well. The more price rallies, then the biggest this will be. So if we sort of match that, the moon math with the Unity, man, you can think things could get pretty wild in terms of value creation in the future. So keep a look out for that. Now, not only do we have the buy and burn, so at the moment we don't have a lot of tourists around the market, right? So the price has gone up, you saw quite nicely, and this buy and burn is just chipping away at it with not a lot of supply. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's your best friend right now, PFS forever, or at least for a long period of time. They've got buy and build at the moment. It's got 64,000, so we're going to add that in, 64. And we're going to add in the 242,000 and Pulse. It's got Pulse and PulseX sitting on both sides here. Now, buy and build is building up the liquidity, so it thickens it up, makes it a more mature protocol, and gives a lot more price resiliency. So this is allows whales to come in and out and all sorts of stuff. It's going to be probably even more important after day 89. Remember, day 88 is the max, but day 89, it's going to be probably even more important there. And we may see some market makers come in the chains, what are kind of expecting, and we could see some really interesting things happen there in the future. We shall see. 242. So that gets us to $735,000 now. And remember, we're only on day 5, for goodness sake. 7 hours and 41 days into it. So 4 days and 7 hours. So pretty crazy. Huge money already in the Unity. And of course, let's have a look at this. We've got the Fractal, which is the third one. It's called on day 110. All this Pulse and PulseX gets pushed into the buy and burn over here, right? So on day 110. And so let's have a look at the amount that we've got there. So we're going to add in another 42,000, and then we're going to add in a 160. So let's add that in. That's the current prices of Pulse and PulseX. We're sitting at $937,000 already captured in just over 4 days and 7 hours. So how about that? That's outstanding. So we're pretty close to $1 million, and that's absolutely fantastic, mind-blowing, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. So that is what's in the treasury, and yeah, bring it on. That's what we can say. Let's look at the stats overall. We've got 1.64 million in the Unity pool based on the price and the amount of Unity actually in the pool. As you guys know, on day 1, it started off at 100,000. It's now at 99,680 on day 5, times the market price, which is $16.47. That gives you a massive pull-out payout just for the day of 1.64 million. Now, as more people come into the protocol, as the prices of assets move up, this becomes more realized, as opposed to theoretical. So while it's mathematically true today, it becomes more self-fulfilling in terms of delivering in the future as we move forward. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. At the moment, of course, what we got there? We've got 4.9% of Unity is burned, almost 1,000 already, 972, and we've got liquid supply of 3,248. Now, watch that liquid supply. We're expecting that just to continue to go down in the weeks ahead. And the price, who knows where the price could go. I have given some price forecasts in the Discord, so you can join up to that today if you want to. Links in the video description. But you got Unity supply, 19,000 coins. Man, it's going down. We've seen this with Taurus, right, which is the same protocol, but on Ethereum and it uses Ethereum and Titanix rather than Pulse and PulseX. So Taurus is running. It's like the brother sister thing there on both chains. We got burnt Unity at 972. And we got state Unity at 5,677, which is terrific a result. I mean, it's mind-boggling, really. But that's already earlier there. And with the staking, you do get the optionality to early in stake and things like that to play the market a little bit, while also earning I yield. So there's a bit of gaming there. Pretty, I think, more advanced sort of feature. Total shares at the moment 1.49 billion. So we're basically at 1.5 billion shares. Remember, I said to you there's a reward pool. That's the reward pool there. And there's a total amount of shares. That's the total amount of shares, right? So whatever shares you have from doing creation over here. So if you did, $4,000, in this example, you get 7.72 million shares. You'd then divide that by the total shares down here of 1.5 billion, and then you'd multiply it by the reward pool, right? That's how you get your share amount every single day. Now we know that there's only ever going to be 125 million Taurus ever, and of course a lot of that will end up getting burned and sunk into other protocols It's going to be a fun game moving ahead. Total burn PulseX, 1.25 billion of PulseX have been burned in just over 4 days. Amazing. So this is a hyper burner for PulseChain, and it's burning at about 72 times the rate of the PulseX buy and burn. So really, this is a amazing booster to the PulseX buy and burn. And of course, we've got about 19.6 trillion PulseX left. We start off with about 21 trillion, and excluding the OA accounts, and now we got the super burner on top, just accelerating all the fundamentals on PulseX and PulseChain. Pretty awesome, eh? And of course, as time goes on, more PulseX will be required for staking and things like that. And so this, buy and burn can just keep ramping up there. So it could be really exciting to see where this all goes. Very fun times. Now let's go have a look at the dashboard, because as you guys know, there's a cool little dashboard from Mike Dean. And let's have a quick look at that. And we can see at the moment we've got the linear chart, and of course I like the linear because it shows the extremes, but we've also got the log chart as well. So you can see the sort of extremes there, and then we get to the big day 89. Remember, 88 days the max for creations, and the first day is 89. Obviously, every day that we move forward in the project adds another day, and people come in and they do 88 days as the day after and a day after. So we're 4 days in the project, 5 days in the project. And so now we're on day 93 out the end there. You can see people that are creating in there. It's kind of cool. Now, as more people come in, the reward pool gets distributed to more and more people. So instead of building up a bigger amount of rewards or inflation, you've actually got more rewards amongst more and more people, or at least more and more creators. So it's really cool to see that flatten out. And that's going to be a very key fundamental in this protocol as it moves forward. This really, cryptographics has turned a lot of things on its head, and I think this is far closer to the holy grail of tokenomics that we're after. So it's really going to be awesome to see it all play out, along with the buy and burn and all the mathematic mechanics, and of course the staking, flipping from creating to staking, things like that. So a lot of cool features in the protocol. Let's go to the logs chart there. You can obviously, we're not really getting a lot of stuff coming out until further in the field here. Now this is a log, so this is all like 10 index, right? But we can see that we're only getting hundreds here. This is 1,000 line, right? So there's only 1,000 coming out. So first time we start getting 1,000, like day 23, there's not a lot actually coming out on those days. And so you can see a couple of days drop down to just like 100. So really, we're not getting a lot of plus thousands. Before we get to 10,000 day is day 34. So you can see this. So we jump up from 1,000 down to day 34 there. So alternatively, you can see that relative to the big days that we've got coming 89, they're all kind of relatively small. And then if you use a log chart, you can actually see those differences there. First day we start getting to 100,000 is day 67. We've got 83,000 coming out there. So this is what I call step changes, right? Where we're moving from the 1,000 to 10,000. So yeah, it's quite a different profile. Now we're still pretty early, only day 5. So this whole profile could look very different. But as we move forward in time, less people are likely to go short, right? Because there's to get so much risk there, really, even with the price. But I think the price is going to bid up. We could see still people playing sort of the shortish kind of game. We'll see how that plays out relative to this ratio. But at the moment, we don't have a lot coming out, and we don't. Where's the dashboard gone? We don't have a lot coming out at this time. I mean, look at this. We've got less than 10 coming out for the next. We're on day 5. This day here, and we've only got less than 10 coming out. So the buy and burn is just going to eat this up. The price is going to be a lot of upward pressure there. We do have still some liquid holders, but still it's going to be a lot of upward pressure there. Look at that, all the way through to any of these days. Really, first sort of test day is day 23. We've got 15,600, but I think by the time we're just going to keep probably a bit of sell off there, the prices will get pretty high. So yeah, day 23. And then really, not until we start getting into some of these bigger 1,000 days. And like maybe day 34 is the first real test, because there's quite a few 11,000 coins coming out. So that's definitely going to be a test. If the price is too high, there's a lot of money whoever gets to sell it first, right? So yeah, that is the play there. So yeah, day 23, what do we say? Day 23 and day 34 seem to be key days at the moment, but we're only on day 5. So we'll see how that all plays out. So that's some cool stuff from Unity. What other charts? That's the cumulative chart there. You can sort of see it playing out. And that's it. So we're going to leave there. So that is pretty cool, pretty awesome, and doing pretty successful. And expect that to be on top of the charts for many days to come. as we just saw with that supply coming out, and the buy and burn just keeps buying and burning. So it's only at 1% too, so which is kind of cool. That is a Unity, but we're gonna have a quick look at Taurus, which is not on PulseChain but on Ethereum, and so we're gonna check that out. We've got a bunch of people watching right now, so big shout out. If you haven't followed on X, definitely smash the follow. If you're on YouTube, definitely smash the subscribe button as well, and look forward to it. All right, so let's jump over to Taurus, which is on the Ethereum chain. We can see we're on day 44, so this is like having a forward view. There are a lot of differences with the profiles and the adoption rates and things like that. But this has also been very successful, and this is over on Ethereum using Titanix. So we're on day 44, so we're well advanced, and we can see if we go to the stats that we can see we're already after 44 days. This is what will be like what it's like on Unity on day 44. We only got 96,617 coins, so it's coming down by 0.08% per day, and that's what it will look like for PulseChain on day 44, which is like 39 days from now. Now you saw the reward pool with given the price of price on Taurus right now is $5.42, and so the that 96,600 times that price is over $500,000, which is pretty cool. So it's looking very, very good. And the liquid supply is sitting at 1,600. So I think we were about 3,000, 4,000 over on Unity. We're at the 1,600 on supply over here on, and this is after day 44. It's after day 44. I mean, this cryptographics must laugh itself silly watching this because it's pretty funny. 1,600 here. That's pretty amazing. Now we've got a different profile on PulseChain. We've got a bigger adoption rate. So this will be different, like I say, day 23, day 34, etc. So you have to keep track of all that. But this is pretty amazing. Makes me laugh, as you can see. I can't help myself laughing. But we got 24,000 on Taurus. Remember, we start off at 20,000, both on Unity and on PulseChain. And so you can get an idea of the change of supply. So we've only increased 4,000. And the price is still looking pretty handsome at $5.42. Total Taurus burned 11,218. So you see that buy and burn really does play a big role, even when it's only on at 1%. It can go up to 10% of the total value that's in the buy and burn. It's only on 1%, and it's managed to hold up the price pretty well there. Stake Taurus has been the surprise to the upside. This adds additional upward price pressure, and we've seen some pretty good numbers there, 5,700, which is pretty similar to what we got Unity on after day 4, and here it's on day 44. So you can see the adoption rate there on PulseChain and the behavior different as well. Total shares 3.36 billion. On Unity we had 1.5, and this is on day 44 compared to day, the beginning of day 5 almost. And the Titanix burned 226 billion. So that is the play right now on the old Taurus. They've captured a lot of value in the buy and burn as well. I'm not going to add that up, but that is over on the buy and burn there. So that's sitting in ETH and Titanix, not Pulse and PulseX. And of course the earn protocol there, you can go in with Titanix or ETH. And the rate at the moment, 7,500% on the creation side and 3,000% on the staking side right now if you're used to staking with Taurus. So that is pretty awesome. You can see down the bottom here, you've got the active stakes, the claimable stakes, and the end stakes. That's where you can manage your creations and stakes and things. Kind of cool. So if you change it to creations, it's going to have creations on there. So you can manage those down here. So when your active crate does mature, it will pop over to the claim. Then you can hit the claim button over on the right here, and then it will, once you've done that, it will show up in the ended creations. That's pretty much how it does works, and it works the same for staking. Claimable stakes and end stakes. So yeah, that is the play right there at the moment on Taurus. Now, if you do create and well into the future, maybe when after day 89 in particular, or maybe even before that. You can get your Taurus out, and then you can go back and stake it, right? Stake your Taurus. You can say what you can do. You can sell it, stake it, put it into a third-party protocol. There'll be lots of options, which is pretty awesome. So kind of cool. All right, so we've got some comments here from Taurus as well. If you want to get the balances or all the buy contracts, just copy the buy and process contract at the bottom and paste it into the portfolio tracker on titanx.com/portfolio. Fantastic. So that is it. If you want to get the balances or all the buy contracts, just copy the buy and process contract at the bottom of the contract there. And I'm not sure it's on this one, but there it is there, buy and contract there. So you can take that, what was he saying, and you go to Titanix Hub. See, I'm not even on Titanix Hub. So let me just go to Titanix Hub here. And so forth. Yeah, I'm not going to do that now, but you can do that. So you guys can find that, and you can do that yourself. can do that stuff. All right, so we got tourists in the house there. I reposted the stream. I might do it on another day. Not today though. We got what else? We got tourists for all the contracts. Awesome stuff. So check that out. All you have to do, type in titanxhub.com/portfolio, copy that contract, buy and process, and you can do that for all the contracts and put it in there. See all the details. That's awesome. So cool. We might do that on another live stream, but not today. Not today. All right. So that's pretty awesome. How are we up to? What day is it? We're up to an hour and a half on the live stream. Man, I only expect to do like an hour and a quarter, but we're having so much fun, guys, on a green candle day. Awesome stuff. We've got a huge bunch of people watching right now. So big shout out to everybody. Don't forget to smash the follow button on X and hit the follow on subscribe. You can check out Taurus. I'm going to post the link to Taurus in the chat there, and bam, and you can check that out. And I'm also going to post the link to Unity right now, and bam, that is the links to the two sites, so you can go and create and stake and do your due diligence, all that good stuff. Lots of content from Cryptographics if you want to learn all the ins and outs, and he does X Spaces every day, I think, just about. And live stream video reviews as well. So there's plenty of content. Join the Telegrams and check all that out. But definitely one of the two big hot protocols to launch this August. And we're excited about where it's going to go. Real game changers there. And the buy and burn on PulseX. Wow. Doing some amazing things. All right, so that is pretty much it. I think we're going to end the show there. But yeah, what a day. It's a green stock market. ETH, interest rate cuts on the cards coming up, 7th September. Crypto on the move, Ethereum pumping, the strategic ETH reserves on the move. PulseChain prices starting to show a bit of life there, and we've got Richard Hart marketing potentially coming up very, very soon. So it's very, very exciting top space to be in crypto and PulseChain in particular. And of course, we've got awesome protocols like Unity dropping in September. Of course, we got the big whales dropping their projects. We got the Coin Whale from Rack and Michelle. We got X Game probably in the second half of September from Firewell. So the good times roll on. We're hearing on the street that there are many other protocols launching. A ton of liquidity forks coming apparently. Balancer fork coming. It's game on. So we're looking forward to on-chain bets. So we're going to have lots of crypto casinos landing. The big players like Jacob in Firewell. And we're expecting a lot more utilities to be launching. We've just had some privacy solutions launching. We've got all these on-ramps, Ramp now, Change now. We've had meetings with them. We got Liberty Swap. It really is game on, and Rich Hart marketing. Come on, guys, it's getting really, really exciting. So I hope you guys enjoy the direction where everything is going. So pack your bags. Maybe a few weeks left before things really get out of hand on the old PulseChain. All right, and will we see a God-made candle? I don't know. It's definitely the capital's flowing over the bridge, just sitting in there. You just never know. It could be very well timed, as you know. Richard likes to make things time very well, so it could be fun. I could see the old Superman behind the screen there. So kind of cool. All right, hope you joined today's live stream. A bit more demure today, a bit more laid back, but we certainly got through the green candles alpha. You just never know. Next live stream could be later tonight. In fact, it looks like we might be having a live stream tonight. So keep a lookout. We might be having with the new biggest influencer, Xavier, coming, of course, to PulseChain recently in the last couple of weeks, launching his own coin, XVR. And Xavier University, what does he call himself? The president of PulseChain. And we may have an interview later on today with him. So keep a lookout for that. And of course, that'd be how many hours from now? Maybe 5 hours from now, maybe we'll have that. So if you want to see the biggest influencer on PulseChain right now in terms of followers, and of course he's got an entertainment audience, not particularly a crypto audience, but he's getting more and more of them familiar with crypto, and of course PulseChain in particular. And that's exciting. Now I did put a post out yesterday about a 3 million an influencer on X with 3 million followers coming to PulseChain as well. So does it have any connection with Xavier? Let us find out. You might find out in 5 hours' time. So don't forget to stay tuned for our second show that is likely to be on today. Keep a lookout. It's going to be awesome. We're getting the big influencers coming, and they're not necessarily crypto ones, but they're bringing in whole new fresh audiences to PulseChain, and that's exactly what we want to do. And of course, it takes time, to get people familiar and up to speed, as we guys know. But hey, look, you got to start somewhere, and bring in the big influencers is a great way to do that. And they're good people. They'll shine through, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy that. It's coming up. Take care, everybody, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. A big shout out to all the founders and all the people in the community in the chat today. Really appreciate your comments. It really is cool, and we look forward to catching you guys again tomorrow for another show, 8 p.m. Eastern, and catch you then. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend.